So it was like this Camaro type, Firebird type.
Seen one today.
It was one of the ones where you had to pedal like inside. All right, so it wasn't a big wheel and it wasn't a power wheel. You didn't have a battery, so it wasn't a power wheel. So let's just say it was a powerless wheel, and the pedals didn't work either, right? So the only thing you could do is like freaking scooting it, all right? And so I had to be about 10 or 11, which makes Tia 5 or 6, all right? So she could fit in, I couldn't fit in the goddamn thing. So one day I figure out, it's like, hey, wait a second. She can fit in it. We can have fun in it. All we got to do is pull it up to the top of the driveway, because Daddy's car's not in the driveway, and just let her go down the driveway, right? But it's no fun just going all the way down the driveway. So I let her go all the way down the driveway, all the way across the street. And she like hit the curb, and like her head would bounce back and forth, but she like in front of the Grimes, in between the Grimes and the Smith's house, right? It was like it hit the curb and shit, and she'd be having fun laughing because of how fast she's going down. Right? Yeah, it's going across the street. Yeah, so so of course I'd look both ways every time I'm doing it or whatever, right? I'm being careful.
This is dangerous.
Yes, it is dangerous. And so I pull the car up, and I'm like, are you ready? It's like, yeah. I was like, you ready to go again? All right. And so I look both ways. I make sure ain't no cars coming. I'm 11 years old. I know how to cross the damn street.
Yeah.
All right. So I pull the car up, and then I let it go, and here she goes, zoom, straight down the driveway, right across the road, and boom, she'd hit the curb or whatever. And again, it's like a crash test dummy, like her head would go bouncing and shit, and she'd be laughing up. She'd just laugh up a storm, having a good time or whatever, right? So I forget like how many times I had done it, right? But I definitely know the last time that I did it, because I pull her up to the top of the driveway, I let her go, right? And I guess the car that was coming must have been in my goddamn blind spot. So I see the car at the last fucking second, right? And I start running down the driveway. I got no time to catch her and pull her back. So the only thing I can do is run up to the back of it and kick it and shove her out of the street to make her go across the street faster so the car doesn't fucking hit her. And so I get to the car in enough time and shove the car. It hits the damn curb, and the people on the car like are honking a horn, and they just like keep going, right? Wow. So the only person that was out there was Gip next door. And so Gip saw it, but I just like hid behind, you remember we still had the fence and the stone and the flower box? Yeah. So I like hid behind the fence and the stone, and I just stood there, and Gip is just next door, and he's like, hey man, and I'm just like hiding there, just like waiting, and I'm just waiting, and he's like, sit. Hey man, and I'm just sitting there, and I wait, and I guess he figured he's not coming out, and he like went inside or in the garage or whatever, and then I went and I got you.
Fucked up. The boy put you down. He's well older than you.
Oh man, he was this close.
He was like,
I was this close to killing Tia. He
must have been like 60, 70 years older than you.
I was this close to seeing him being fucking splattered all over Holly Street. I saw that car at the last minute. That's all I could do, man. And I just was hiding, dude. Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
It's this close to killing her. Oh, and then she has this thing where you remember you had the beads for your fish tanks, right? And so I had this thing where I would take the beads, right? I'd take a bead and put it up my nose, and I would shoot it out of my nose. And so T would keep getting a kick out of me doing this shit, right? And so we're laughing, and I just keep doing stupid stuff. And so she goes home, and like maybe an hour or two later, Trish called Ma. She was at the emergency room. Tia had gone in and taken the beads out, and she went home and she put it up her nose, but couldn't get it out her nose. So they had to take her to the emergency room.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so, and to this day, well, now she changes it, but she kept saying that I gave her the beads. I didn't give her the beads because it wasn't safe for her to do it. I told her, it's like, hey, yo, don't do this. And now she's like, well, since she's like, I only did it because I saw you doing it, so it is still your fault. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess, yeah, it is still my fault because you saw me doing it. I was like, but the point was, for years, she would always say, I gave her the beads. And I'm like, Tia, I never gave you the beads. You went into the closet after and you took the beads yourself. Why would I admit to you almost getting ran over and killed by a car, but I wouldn't admit to giving you the friggin' beads you put up your nose? It doesn't make any sense. I never gave you the bead. You took the beads yourself and put them up your nose. It's like, I didn't give you the beads, which is like, it is still my fault because I was the idiot doing it.
Yeah.